This is not a coincidence. You were meant to hear these words right now, before the 10th of August. Something is aligning in the heavens, something the ancient star keepers saw and encoded into celestial calendars thousands of years ago. They called it the Week of Veiled Light, a moment when planetary energies shift, and those who are awake can shield themselves from chaos and step into divine favor. From August 10th to August 14th, 2025, the cosmic currents will be unlike anything we have seen in decades. This is not to frighten you, it is to prepare you. The chosen are always warned before the storm. In those 4 days, stay home when you can. Center your energy, guard your spirit. The winds of fate will be strong, but the ones anchored in light will not be moved. Most will ignore this, dismissing it as just another date on the calendar. But the wise will understand that heaven speaks through patterns, not accidents. You have been brought here to receive this warning for a reason. You are part of the prophecy, and the prophecy always finds its messengers. So breathe deeply. Let the words, "I am protected," anchor into your soul. Type them in the comments to claim your shield. Like this message so others may find it. Subscribe, so the guidance meant for you is never lost. This is not fear. This is divine alignment. Mark your calendar, child of the stars. When August 10th arrives, you will know why you were called to this moment. And when the 14th passes, you will feel the quiet knowing that you were spared from what could not touch you. The universe is speaking. You have answered. On the night of August 13th, the heavens will open with a light older than time, the sturgeon moon, a powerful full moon in Aquarius, the sign of the cosmic water bearer, the bringer of divine knowledge. The ancients believed that when the moon swelled in this part of the sky, its light poured down truths that were too vast for most minds to hold. This year, that energy will be magnified beyond measure. Saturn rests in Pisces during this lunation, quietly dissolving karmic structures that no longer serve. Think of it as the dismantling of invisible walls you didn't know were holding you in place. Simultaneously, Uranus electrifies the sign of Gemini, sending shockwaves through our thoughts, conversations, and connections. It will feel as though the very air is alive with ideas, revelations, and sudden turns of fate. And all of this converges under the watch of the Aquarius full moon, a cosmic librarian unlocking the archives of your soul. But here is what the mystics warn: when so much energy floods into the earthly realm, the outer world does not always receive it gracefully. The frequency becomes scrambled, chaotic, almost like a storm of static. Those who rush about without awareness may find themselves anxious, reactive, or drawn into unnecessary conflict. The streets and screens alike will hum with agitation. This is why the call is clear. Between August 10th and 14th, but especially on the 13th, create your sacred container. A sacred container is not just a physical space. It is an energetic sanctuary. It could be your home, your meditation corner, or simply the circle of your own aura. Stay where your energy feels safe. Fill the space with what grounds you: candles, crystals, sacred symbols, music that aligns your heart. The universe will be sending what many call 5D downloads, transmissions from the higher planes that upgrade your intuition, your clarity, your vision for what comes next. If you are still, you will feel them. You may dream vividly, receive sudden insights, or experience that unmistakable sensation that you just know something without knowing how. These are not accidents, they are activations. But if you are swept into the outer chaos, the static will drown the signal. Aquarius asks us to look beyond the personal and step into our role as light bearers for the collective. That role begins with anchoring yourself first. This is why the guidance is simple but urgent. Stay home when you can, protect your energy, and open your mind to the gifts being poured into it. Mark this date. Prepare your space. And when the Sturgeon moon rises in Aquarius. Know that you are exactly where the stars have asked you to be. A still point in a world of motion. A receiver of what others cannot yet hear. The chaos will pass, but the wisdom will remain. And it will change you forever. There will be moments, as the August energies swell, when you will feel reality leaning in to whisper back your own thoughts. You'll think of a phrase, a memory, a private question, and seconds later, it will return to you through the most unlikely messenger. It could be a song on the radio, echoing the exact words in your mind. It might be a stranger on the street saying, without knowing why, the sentence you needed to hear. Or it may be a character on television speaking your internal monologue aloud, as if reading it from your soul. This is the sacred echo, a phenomenon that occurs when the barrier between your personal consciousness and the vast quantum field grows thin, almost transparent. Normally, your thoughts ripple outward into the field, mingling with countless other currents. The echoes return, but they're faint, easily lost in the noise of daily life. Now, however, in the days surrounding the Sturgeon moon, those echoes will come back to you in high definition, unmistakable and timely. Imagine your mind as a stone dropped into still water. Every thought sends ripples outward. When the veil is thick, those ripples disperse without obvious return. But when the veil thins, as it will between August 10th and 14th, the water is so still, so clear that the ripples bounce back almost instantly, bringing proof that your inner and outer worlds are not separate at all. You might find yourself thinking about an old friend you haven't spoken to in years, and within minutes, you see their name pop up in an unexpected message or in a headline. You may silently wonder if you should take a leap in your career or your relationship, and then overhear someone nearby say, "Go for it. It's your time." The delivery will be so precise that you may feel a chill, as though an invisible hand has tapped you on the shoulder to say, "Pay attention." The sacred echo serves a greater purpose than simple wonder. It's an initiation into conscious co-creation. Every echo is a mirror, reflecting not only your thoughts but your energetic state. If the reflections are uplifting, affirming, and inspiring, it's a sign your vibration is aligned. If the echoes return as fear, doubt, or criticism, it may be the universe inviting you to recalibrate. During this window, be intentional with your thoughts. Treat each one as a seed you're planting into fertile, cosmic soil. The feedback loop is shorter now. The universe is answering faster. In ancient mystery schools, this period was considered sacred training, teaching initiates to recognize the language of synchronicity and respond to it with awareness. When the sacred echo finds you, pause and acknowledge it. Whisper a thank you to the unseen forces that orchestrated the moment. Write it down so you can trace the patterns. And most importantly, anchor the awareness by declaring it publicly. Type "the veil is thinning" in the comments. This act does more than participate in a trend. It signals to the quantum field that you recognize its voice and are ready to engage in the dialogue. Once you acknowledge the echo, expect them to multiply. Reality loves a willing conversation partner. The more you notice, the more intricate and personalized the echoes become. As if the universe is saying, they're listening. Let's go deeper. And if you're still watching when this happens, in your own life, know this: you have crossed a threshold. You are no longer just a receiver of reality. You are a conscious participant in its unfolding. The veil is thinning, and you are standing exactly where the stars intended. There are seasons when the soul moves quietly, almost invisibly. And then there are moments when it begins to untangle lifetimes of threads all at once. Between August 10th and 14th, under the rare combination of the Sturgeon moon in Aquarius, Saturn in Pisces, and Uranus in Gemini, a great unraveling will begin. This is what I call the karmic unspooling, the deep release of ancient traumas, past life burdens, and ancestral patterns that have been coiled within your energy field. For centuries, you may not remember the stories consciously, but your body and spirit have carried them. And now, the cosmic tides will demand that you let them go, that it may start subtly. A sudden unexplained wave of grief that rises in your chest, even though nothing in the present moment justifies it. Or perhaps you'll feel a burst of anger, so strong it takes your breath away, only to realize you're not angry about anything happening here and now. These emotions belong to timelines you've lived before, or to the lives of those who came before you. You are the vessel in which they've been stored, and you are the one chosen to release them. Some will experience this release in physical form. You may feel phantom touches, as if a hand brushed your shoulder or rested on your back, but when you turn, no one is there. You might catch fleeting scents, the perfume your grandmother wore, the smoke of a fire from a land you've never visited, the salt of an ocean you've never seen. Strange aches and pains may surface in parts of your body with no clear cause, only to vanish just as mysteriously as they came at night. Your dreams may transform into full living worlds. You could see yourself in another body, wearing clothes from a century long gone, speaking a language you do not know but somehow understand. You may witness scenes of loss, joy, battle, or love that feel more real than the day you wake into. These are not random dreams. They are memories surfacing so they can finally be acknowledged and released. This process can be disorienting, but it is sacred. Imagine your soul as a great library, each lifetime a book stored on the shelves. Some books are light and joyful, filled with wisdom you still carry proudly. Others are heavy, filled with chapters of pain, betrayal, and fear. For ages, these volumes have sat unopened, but now the librarian, your higher self, is pulling them down one by one, scanning their pages and deciding which no longer need to be kept. The reason is simple. You are preparing to run on a higher operating system, what many call the 5D consciousness. And like a computer hard drive, your soul must be cleared of outdated programs before the new can install fully. These old patterns, scarcity, fear, shame, victimhood, were coded in during lifetimes where survival demanded them. But in the higher frequencies, they only weigh you down. This is not just about your personal healing. The karmic unspooling also reaches through the threads of ancestry, dissolving patterns that have been passed through your bloodline for generations. Perhaps your family has lived with cycles of poverty, mistrust, or silence around love. Perhaps every woman in your line carried the weight of self-sacrifice, or every man carried the burden of emotional repression. When you release these patterns within yourself, you send a shockwave of liberation both backward and forward in time. Those who came before you feel it. Those who come after you will never carry what you are releasing now. This is why the emotions may feel so big, so much larger than you. You are not only feeling for yourself, you are feeling for hundreds of souls connected through time. And yet, you were chosen for this moment because you have the strength, the awareness, and the alignment to set them free. When the waves come, do not resist. If grief rises, let the tears fall freely. If anger burns, allow it to move through you without directing it at anyone in your present life. If your body aches, rest. Drink water, ground yourself, and remember, this is energy leaving you. Some find it helpful to speak aloud to the energy as it surfaces. You might say, I see you. I honor you. You are free to leave now. Others prefer to write letters to the past, to an ancestor they never met, to a version of themselves from another lifetime, and then burn the paper, releasing the story to the wind. Whatever method you choose, know that this is sacred service. You are lightening the load of an entire lineage. And once these threads are released, space opens for a new weave, one of abundance, clarity, and sovereignty. During this process, anchor your intention by declaring it publicly. Type "I release" and "I am free" in the comments. This is not superstition. It is an active, energetic agreement. The moment you name your freedom, the quantum field begins to rearrange itself to match that truth. By the time the karmic unspooling completes, you will feel a quiet spaciousness in your heart, where the old weight once lived. You may notice that certain fears no longer rise in situations that used to trigger you. The air will feel lighter. Your dreams will shift from releasing the past to imagining the future. And one morning, without quite knowing when it happened, you'll realize the chains you carried for lifetimes are gone. You are walking differently, breathing differently, seeing the world not as a repetition of the old, but as an open field where anything is possible. The sturgeon moon will not only illuminate the sky, it will illuminate the places where your soul has been bound, and it will hand you the key. All you have to do is turn it. And once you do, nothing in your timeline will ever be the same again. In the days surrounding the sturgeon moon, reality will begin to shimmer. The edges will blur. You will notice that the solidity you once took for granted starts to bend, not in chaotic collapse, but in subtle, intentional ways that respond directly to your state of consciousness. This is the quantum ripple, the moment when the so-called laws of the physical world reveal themselves as flexible threads woven through the loom of your awareness. At first, you might dismiss it as coincidence. An object you know you left on the table suddenly isn't there. Until hours later, you find it exactly where you looked before, as if it blinked out of existence and then returned. A conversation you could have sworn happened turns out, according to others, not to have taken place at all. Your watch tells you 10 minutes have passed, but your inner sense of time says it's been an hour, or the reverse, where hours dissolve into what feels like a single breath. Technology, too, will begin to join in the dance. Your phone may glitch, opening apps you didn't touch, or delivering a text you needed to see in that exact moment of questioning. Websites might refresh to show you information that answers a silent thought. Files on your computer could appear, corrupted only to open perfectly later after you've shifted your focus or mood. These aren't random malfunctions. They are messages encoded in the fabric of your personal hologram, nudging you to notice that reality is listening. Then, there are the deliveries, those strange, synchronistic arrivals that feel orchestrated by some unseen hand. A package shows up at your door, but you never ordered it, and yet it contains something you've been needing or thinking about. A friend sends you a book without knowing it's been on your mind all week. The grocery store has been out of your favorite tea for months, and suddenly, when you walk in on the exact day you feel low, it's stocked again in abundance. The quantum ripple is not about chaos. It is about resonance. Imagine your thoughts and emotions as ripples moving outward across an infinite ocean. In ordinary times, the ripples are subtle, barely noticed against the larger waves of collective reality. But in moments of heightened cosmic alignment, such as August 10th to 14th, the sea becomes still enough that your ripples travel farther, faster, and return to you magnified. This is when you begin to realize you are not simply living in reality. You are co-writing it in real time. Your consciousness is an electromagnetic force that can bend the code of the simulation. And in this window, the code is particularly malleable. Some will use this time to experiment, to test the waters of manifestation in a way that feels almost playful. They'll think of someone they haven't seen in years, and within days, they'll get a message from them. They'll imagine finding a certain amount of money, and unexpectedly, a refund check will arrive in the mail. They'll focus on a feeling of joy, and suddenly, the day will rearrange itself to deliver moments that match it. But this is also a time for caution. The ripple magnifies all frequencies, not just the ones you want. If you dwell on fear, the world may reflect it back through small mishaps or unsettling events. This is not punishment. It's a demonstration of your own creative power. The lesson is clear. In the higher dimensions, attention is currency. What you feed grows. One of the easiest ways to work with the quantum ripple is through conscious observation. When something strange happens, an object disappears, time feels off, a glitch delivers a meaningful message. Pause and ask yourself, what was I thinking or feeling in the moments before this? Over time, you'll see the direct correlation between your inner state and the outer anomalies. You might also find it helpful to set small reality anchors, gentle experiments to witness the responsiveness of the field. Choose something specific yet neutral, like seeing a blue feather or hearing a certain rare phrase. Then, without obsessing, simply release it to the field. Notice how often and how quickly it arrives. These small proofs will train your awareness to recognize the connection between your consciousness and the outer world. The more you trust the process, the more fluid it becomes. Eventually, the separation between thought and manifestation begins to dissolve entirely. Life feels less like a linear sequence and more like a responsive dream in which your role is both dreamer and dream. Of course, with great fluidity comes great responsibility. The ripple is not a party trick. It is a reminder of the profound responsibility of being a creator. Every thought you think sends a signal. Every emotion you hold is a frequency broadcast. In the days of the sturgeon moon, the volume is turned up to anchor your energy and work in harmony with the ripple. Focus on high-frequency emotions: gratitude, wonder, love, curiosity. Move through your space as if it is sacred, because it is. Every object, every interaction is a thread in the weave of your reality. Speak to them as allies. Treat them as responsive. Above all, remember, the quantum ripple is not a fluke of the cosmos. It is a mirror revealing your natural state as a conscious architect of the physical world. This alignment simply makes the truth easier to see. By the time the moon begins to wane, you may notice that you have changed the way you move through life. You no longer see yourself as a passive observer of events. You understand that you are influencing the weave at all times. And with that understanding comes both empowerment and peace, the kind that comes from knowing you can navigate storms by shifting your own inner winds. When you experience your first ripple moment, the object reappearing, the glitch delivering a message, the doorbell ringing with exactly what you needed, take a breath and acknowledge it out loud. Say, I see you. I am a magnet for miracles. Then, type those words in the comments. Let the declaration become part of your field. Because once you name yourself as a magnet for miracles, the universe has no choice but to deliver them. And in this charged, shimmering window of time, they will arrive faster than you ever thought possible. You've seen 100 times before, and suddenly you feel it. Not just the images, not just the words, but the energy behind them, the smile in the selfie that hides exhaustion, the good news post that carries an undertone of quiet desperation, the distant acquaintance whose eyes radiate something you can't quite name until you realize it's truth. This is the frequency separation. It is not about judgment, and it is not about superiority. It is about clarity. For the first time in your life, the energetic signatures of others will present themselves to you without filter, without camouflage. This is because the Aquarius full moon is amplifying the electrical circuitry of your intuition, and Saturn in Pisces is dissolving the lies you once told yourself just to keep the peace. Through screens, the sensation is undeniable. You'll begin to notice colors, not visible in the literal sense, but in the energetic one. A faint gold hum radiating from a post made with genuine love. A dull gray weight from a video created in envy or fear. Even written words will carry their true vibrational charge. You may read a single sentence and feel your entire body either soften in resonance or tighten in warning. This new perception extends beyond the digital realm. In person, you may find yourself picking up emotional states before someone speaks. The moment they walk into a room, you already know what they're carrying. You may even begin receiving telepathic pings, small, sudden impressions of what a friend is feeling miles away, only to receive a text moments later confirming it. And while this may feel like a gift, it also comes with a challenge. Tolerance for low vibration content and interactions will plummet. Movies, shows, and conversations you once found harmless may now feel like sandpaper on your spirit. The laugh tracks in sitcoms will sound hollow. Violent or manipulative storylines will feel physically repellent. Even music you once loved may suddenly sound discordant, because you can now feel the frequency it was recorded in. The social impact will be profound. People who thrive in inauthenticity will begin to fade from your world, not because you've cut them off, but because the energetic mismatch will be so obvious that continued connection becomes impossible. Friendships built on convenience rather than truth will dissolve like morning mist. This may hurt at first because you are human, and every ending carries echoes of grief. But you will quickly notice what happens in the space those connections once occupied. A new tribe will begin to emerge. People who feel good to be around, not because they are perfect, but because they are aligned. Conversations will leave you lighter, not drained. Shared moments will feel charged with possibility. Laughter will be medicine, not a mask. This is the great sorting of energies that the ancients spoke of, not in terms of good or bad people, but in terms of frequency compatibility. The frequency separation is also a training ground. You are being shown what it feels like to exist as a fully tuned instrument, aware of every note in your environment. This skill will be vital in the coming cycles, because the world outside will not become calmer overnight. If anything, the noise will increase. But you, if you are still watching, if you are still here, will not be part of the noise. You will be able to navigate through it with precision, aligning only with what strengthens your soul. One of the unexpected blessings of this phenomenon is the rediscovery of beauty. When you filter out the static, the pure signals shine brighter. A stranger's genuine smile will feel like a warm sunrise. A song written from the heart will linger in your cells for hours. Nature will speak louder, trees will hum, water will pulse, clouds will whisper. The veil between you and the life force energy in all things will thin, and your connection to it will feel unbreakable. But there is a deeper reason why you are being given this gift now. The Aquarius full moon is known as the cosmic water bearer, and in this cycle, it pours out truth. When Saturn and Uranus align in their current positions, they don't just encourage awakening, they demand it. They strip away the illusions, the roles, the false smiles. They remind you that you came here not just to witness the shift, but to embody it. And this embodiment begins with discernment. You are learning to trust what you feel, even when the outer picture tells you otherwise. You are learning to honor the subtle signals your body gives you, a flutter in the chest, a tightening in the gut, a sudden wave of peace as real valid guidance. This is how you navigate the new world, by feeling it before you see it. You may be tempted to warn others when you sense discord in them, but remember, everyone is on their own journey. The frequency separation is not about fixing others. It is about aligning yourself so strongly with truth that you become a lighthouse for those who are ready to find their way. Some will gravitate toward you, others will turn away. Both are acts of alignment. By the time August 14th passes, you will notice something extraordinary. Your outer reality will reflect your inner frequency with unprecedented speed. The people you meet, the opportunities that appear, the doors that open or close, they will all match your vibration with near instant precision. This is the universe's way of rewarding clarity with connection. And if you've been feeling lately like you've outgrown certain spaces, certain roles, certain conversations, you are not imagining it. You are simply stepping into the vibration you were always meant to inhabit. The ones meant to walk beside you will find you, not by accident, but by resonance. So now, as you sit in this moment, take a breath. Feel the truth of these words in your body. Feel the shift that's already begun. And if you know, deep down, that your vision is sharpening, if you sense that your soul is calling in the people who will walk with you into this next chapter, then anchor that knowing now. Declare it so the energy can crystallize. Type these words in the comments, not just as letters, but as a beacon. I see with clarity. I attract my tribe. When the window closes on August 14th, you will not be the same person who entered it. The veil will not simply fall back into place. Something irreversible will have shifted, not in the outer world, but in you. This is the embodiment of the observer, the moment you cross from reacting to reality into witnessing it with calm, unshakable clarity. Imagine standing at the center of a crowded square while a storm rages above. People run in panic, rain lashes down, debris spins through the air, and yet, in the center, you are dry, calm, and utterly still. That is the frequency you will carry forward. You will find yourself in the world, but not of it. Chaos may swirl, headlines may scream, loved ones may spiral, and still, you remain rooted in an inner ocean of peace. This is not emotional numbness. It is the opposite. A profound, stable presence that feels deeply, yet does not get swept away. You may still grieve, laugh, or rejoice, but you do so from the seat of awareness, no longer mistaking passing waves for the whole ocean. In this state, your very presence becomes a stabilizing force for others. Without speaking a word, you will shift rooms, anchor group energy, and dissolve tension. People will come to you, drawn without knowing why, sensing that you hold a frequency they desperately need. You will be a walking anchor of 5D consciousness, embodying the blueprint for the world that is coming. And this embodiment is not passive. Maintaining inner peace becomes an act of activism. In a reality where fear is the primary currency, refusing to spend it is revolutionary. Every moment you choose neutrality over reactivity, compassion over judgment, curiosity over panic, you quietly rewrite the field. When others are swept up in the storm, you will remind them, simply by existing, that calm is possible. You become the proof that inner alignment is not only real, but contagious. From this point on, you will live less like someone fighting the current, and more like someone steering the boat. This is the reward of the initiation, not escaping the world, but learning to move through it as a master of your own frequency. You have now seen the shape of the path, the sacred echo, the karmic unspooling, the quantum ripple, the frequency separation, and the embodiment of the observer. Each is a rung on the ladder, leading you from unconscious participation in the old world into conscious creation of the new. These phenomena are not random curiosities, they are the markers of your initiation. Together, they form a bridge between timelines. By walking it, you have shed layers of illusion, dissolved karmic weight, witnessed the plasticity of reality, discerned truth at the energetic level, and anchored yourself in divine neutrality. When you look back, you will see that this was not a single event, but a passage, one that demanded presence, courage, and trust. You will see that each strange moment, each emotional wave, each impossible synchronicity was part of a deliberate orchestration, designed to awaken the master within you. And now, as the sturgeon moon wanes and the world resumes its frantic rhythm, you will carry something precious, the embodied knowing that you are not a victim of circumstance, but the architect of your experience. You are no longer seeking the doorway, you have walked through it. What lies ahead is not the end of the journey, but its true beginning. Remember, from this moment forward, the field will respond to you with greater speed and precision. Choose your thoughts with care. Hold your frequency like a sacred flame. Walk gently, but with the confidence of one who knows their place in the cosmic weave. Your journey has just begun.